The 2026 Nations Championship is here, and in this video I'm going to be giving my preview for the All Blacks for the first 3 rounds of the competition, going over their games, going over their squad, and also going over who I think are the key players to watch and who I think will be the real game drivers for this team, and some little hot takes as well I have in mind when it comes to the All Blacks. Now, if you haven't seen the other content on my channel, go have a look if you haven't. If you do enjoy the content, please don't forget to like and subscribe to help the channel grow if you do enjoy the content, because there's going to be a lot more coming out recently. There's going to be predicted lineups coming out soon as well for all the Nations Championship teams, not just the All Blacks, not just the Springboks, but of course I will be covering the Greatest Rivalry Tour in depth as well this year. It's going to be absolutely awesome. If you enjoy match previews, predicted lineups, match reactions, and player ratings as well, hit the subscribe button because there's going to be a lot more content coming out. So I'm just going to go through the squad selected for the Nations Championship. So at loose head prop, Ethan de Groot, George Bauer, Xavier Numia, hooker Asafu Amua, Cody Taylor, Samasoni Takiaho, tight head prop Tyrell Lomax, Fletcher Newell, and Pasilo Tosi, locks Sam Darry, Josh Lord, Tupou Vai, Patrick Tuipulotu, back rows Luke Jacobson, Peter Lakai, Simon Parker, Artie Savia, Anton Segner, Wallace Setiti, scrum halves Kyle Preston, Cortez Ratama, Cam Roygard, of course Cam Roygard needs to be there, fly halves Bowden Barrett, Damian McKenzie, Ruben Love, centre Geordie Barrett, Anton Leonard Brown, Billy Proctor, and Quinn Tupaya, back three Leroy Carter, Caleb Clark, Finianga Norfu, I hope I said that one right, Josh Morby, and Will Jordan. So a really fun, exciting squad selected for this tournament. I cannot wait for these games. And now, I will probably right now quickly go over who I think will be from those positions. Not the guys I think are going to start, just the guys I think should be number one on the team sheet from those groups. So I'm not going to really choose the starting lineup, just who I think will be the number one choice on the team sheet. So from those guys there, loose head prop, Ethan de Groot will be the first name on the team sheet in my opinion. Hooker, for me, Cody Taylor with Asafu Amua as the backup, but I think it's between those two. Tight head prop, for me, I think it's going to be Fletcher Newell. Locks, if there was one guy to choose, I think it's going to be Tupou Vai. Back rows, of course, the captain, Artie Savia. Scrum half, Cam Roygard. Fly half, for me, Ruben Love. Centre, probably Geordie Barrett, but him and Quinn Tupaya are the two main guys there. And back three, for me, if there's one guy you have to choose from that back three group, it is Will Jordan. But I will still be doing a predicted lineup, who I think they will pick and who I think will be the 23 for that opening game against France. But now let's get into some of their fixtures. So this is only for the first 3 rounds. I will go over who the other fixtures are as well, but of course it's the other teams that they won't be playing. So their first game is against France, their second game is at home against Italy, and their third game is at home against Ireland as well. The nice thing about the Nations Championship now is those Southern Hemisphere teams kind of get that experience that the Northern Hemisphere teams have at the end of the year. We all love the end of the year tour, we all love the November internationals, and I think this is going to give a similar feel, because 1 week France is touring to New Zealand, the next week Italy, and the next week Ireland. So those teams have to tour, but New Zealand has that comfort of playing at home for 3 games in a row against a different team every single week. It's going to be really exciting, and I cannot wait for this prospect of playing a different team every single week. I think it's going to be awesome that our Southern Hemisphere teams now get to have that same experience that the Northern Hemisphere teams do. Don't get me wrong, I love the 3-game series against the other teams. I love it. But I also want to see a France playing against New Zealand in New Zealand more often. I want to see a Italy playing against New Zealand. I don't remember the last time, if I've ever seen that before. I want to see these games more often, and I think the Nations Championship really does allow that. So I think this Nations Championship for the All Blacks is going to be very good preparation to get some good game time to some uncapped players, to build some combinations where I think Dave Rennie isn't too sure about some of the combinations. He wants to build a few. For me personally, I see 9 and 10 being a combination where he's going to try a few things out. I think he will go with the confidence play, the form play of Cam Roygard and Ruben Love. It just makes sense for me. I know there's a lot of guys that don't like Ruben Love. There's a lot of guys that think Damian McKenzie still has what it takes. I do as well. But I think Damian McKenzie has a different role in the team. I think Bowden Barrett as well. That being said, if one of those guys got injured, the other guy could easily replace the other guy. They've done some incredible things at that level. But I think there are going to be a few selections that might be out of the norm here as well. I think Finianga Nanofu, hope I said that right again, gets to start in those games. I think Will Jordan will get the start at 15. I think all these guys, the things that people have been wanting to see will start to happen. I mean, guys didn't make the squad like Duplessis Karifi as well, Rico Ioane, for certain reasons, because they're not going to fit his game style. I do think Du Plessis Karifi was a bit hard done by, but I'm pretty sure if there is one loose forward that gets injured, he will be the guy that comes in. But I think Simon Parker and all those guys as well have been really good throughout the season as well. So that was the one I was a bit 50-50 on that decision, but Dave Rennie knows what he's doing. I've said it before, the things he did with that poor Wallabies team. Imagine the things he can do with this really good All Blacks squad. And people are acting like All Blacks are in the worst spot ever. For the All Blacks culture, for the All Blacks team, they are in the worst spot that they've ever been in. But imagine being in the worst spot ever. You still go beat Ireland, you still beat New Zealand, you still beat France, you still beat the Springboks once as well. Imagine that being your worst spot ever. I mean, me as a Springbok fan, 2016, worst sporting year ever as a Springbok fan, losing all those games. The All Blacks have never had that, so the All Blacks are still at that level. They honestly still do set the standard alongside Ireland or a South Africa or a France right now. They still set the standard, and I think the All Blacks can beat any team on any given day. And with a poor All Blacks team, they still made the final of the 2023 World Cup and took it till the 80th minute of the game. So that's just something I have to get out there, because this All Blacks team is special still. It's not going to be 2015 right now again. I think international rugby is never going to be at that level again of one team really being that dominant. The Springboks are dominant, but they still lose games. So I don't think it's going to get to that 2015, 2016 level of dominance. I think right now international rugby is in a very healthy place where teams are competing every week. It is a bit of a 50-50 or a 60-40. It's not a 80-20% chance of a team winning, and I cannot wait for it. So for me personally, with the games coming up, I'm sure France aren't going to send their strongest team. But Bordeaux not being in the top 14 playoffs makes it a lot more exciting with the players they can bring. I would love to see, which I think will happen, is a Damien Penaud or a Lou Bilberry or a Yoram Mofana coming to play against these guys, because yes, France won't have their strongest team with Dupont and those guys out, but there'll still be Maxime Luku, there'll still be Nolan Lacarec and all those guys as well. Hopefully Nolan Lacarec can play, but there'll still be all those guys as well, Toulon players as well. So it's going to be a good France team, and I cannot wait for that game. It's going to be absolutely awesome, but I think it's up to France to respect this tournament and to respect the All Blacks to bring their strongest players that they have available for that time period. So I'm excited for that one. Then of course the next game, Italy versus the All Blacks. I do think that is going to be a massive uphill battle for Italy. It's going to be like climbing Mount Everest for them, because they have a good team. They can bring the game to the All Blacks. They can have a very exciting game. And I think if it was a 20-point margin or a 10-point margin, All Blacks fans would say that, oh, they had a terrible game because Italy brought it close with them. But keep a close eye on Italy. They've got some phenomenal youngsters coming through. They've got some phenomenal players. So I am really excited about Italy playing against New Zealand. And I think that one is at Wellington as well. So that should be a very fun one. Then, of course, the final game of the Nations Championship, first 3 rounds for the All Blacks against Ireland. There's so much history in this one. Ireland have a strong squad. They've been building confidence after that first Six Nations hiccup game. They've been building confidence throughout the tournament. They had some really good performances, and I think that Ireland versus New Zealand game is where it really will matter most. That's where the All Blacks have had 2 games to kind of get their bearings, understand each other. That will be a must-win game, because that's probably one of the last big games as well. I think they are playing Australia and Argentina as well, but I think that's one of the big final games before that greatest rivalry tour. And we all know both sides have to win that competition. The All Blacks have to win that competition. The Springboks have to win that competition. It's a must-win for both teams. So the Nations Championship right now for the All Blacks, it's always about winning 3 from 3 games. For them, it's never about not winning. At the end of the day, in an All Blacks jersey, you have to win all your games. You have to aim to be undefeated. But they also will learn about a lot of their players and what they have, if they have what it takes at that level, and to see some exciting new players, maybe an exciting new style of play, and a new captain, a captain which people have been wanting for years in Ardie Savia. So that is one of the important things about this, and I cannot wait for it. I'm so excited. So for me, what I see from this All Blacks team is, from this Nations Championship, they have to win all their games. That's a non-negotiable in the All Blacks jersey. We all know this right by now, and I'm not even an All Blacks fan, but I know the standard set. But for them, it's about building those combinations, giving those younger guys an opportunity to play, and playing maybe a different brand of rugby under an exciting coach who wants to be there, who really wants to see the All Blacks get back to the best. As well as a new captain, a captain that people have been wanting to see for years now. People have been saying Ardie Savia still, he is the captain, even if he isn't. Ardie Savia deserves to be the captain, and I think he will do some really good things in this team as a captain. So I cannot wait for it. The players I'm the most excited to see, you have to start off with Asafo Amua, probably my favorite All Black right now. The one guy I think can go so far in the All Blacks team. Second of all, for me, I'm probably going to go with Artie Savia because he's an awesome player. Third of all, Cam Roygard, and in the back line as well, Will Jordan, and I want to see how Ruben Love gets going as well. So those are my 5 players to watch. Of course, Quinn Tupaia and those guys are excellent, but for me, those are the 5 guys to watch. Asafo Amua, Artie Savia, Cam Roygard, Ruben Love, and Will Jordan. Those are the 5 guys I think can really do some great things for the All Blacks this year. So please let me know what you think down below in the comments. What are your thoughts on what I've said? Do you agree? Do you disagree? I cannot wait for all the content coming up. There's going to be a lot of All Blacks content. There's going to be a lot of international rugby content as well. So if you do enjoy the content, hit the subscribe button and stick around. It's going to be really, really fun. And I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.